Let's talk about these athletes, man. And, of course, we got to start off by talking about Antonio Brown. I mean, he's already lost an entire season for a bunch of reasons. But the other day, he had another epic meltdown. When the cops called to his house, he actually called the cops because his baby's mama was about to take his Bentley, his car, and he didn't like it. And we got a clip of it.
Crackers, man. These crackers don't get no justice for no nigga, man. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get off my property. Broke ass motherfucker.
Yeah, that's Antonio Brown. After he called the cops, they didn't help him retrieve his car from his baby mama. Then he ended up throwing literally a bag of dicks at his baby mama. They were gummy bears.
Yeah, little gummy
bears.
He'll never get back in the NFL.
Yeah, I thought one of mine was in there. It was,
Well, who carries, first of all, who carries around a bag of gummy dicks?
Well,
some women do.
yeah,
Not that small, though.
but if you eat two of them, you may not be gay.
Shout out to Tank.
He's ripping on Tank. He's getting you, Tank.
He's getting you. Already. Man, let's talk about Antonio, man. What do you think's going on with him right now?
You know, football players are different. You know, they need the attention. You know, so if you look at like somebody like Julio Jones, probably the best wide receiver in the game, if he walked through here, you wouldn't know who he was.
Right.
You know, so most of those guys want the attention. So they go out and seek it because they have the helmets on. So they want the recognition so it equals, you know,
And they
dollars
don't
on the
have,
market.
and they don't have guaranteed contracts.
Right.
Too. So you know, they're trying to. It's like they're trying to, like OBJ, all of them. They're trying to like grab outside endorsements, outside entities. So when they're done, they have this personality.
But you don't think any of it had something to do with the CTE? I mean, a lot of them been playing football since they were young, and there's a lot of hits to the head. And you know, receivers, I'm sure they take a lot more hits than your average, you know, NFL player or just player anyway, other than a running back. So I mean, I think something has to be tied into CTE.
Something's going on with him lately.
Something ain't right with him, man. He's an idiot. Like it's really something's really going on with him for him to keep on going and talk to his baby mama like that. That was ridiculous.
In front of his kids too.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Because I've been there before. I've been there before.
Okay.
We know what you do, Gilbert.
The only reason I laugh, because you think you're going through it until you see somebody else going through it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I look at that and laugh because that's black excellence right there.
So
This is the first time a black man's allowed to talk to the cops and don't got nothing to worry about.
you open the door,
right?
So you open the door, right? That conversation. That haven't happened to you? You talking to your baby mama crazy like that?
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's been documented.
On Instagram, yeah. You know, but mine is more of the joking. I'm going, you know, joke with you. I'm not going to disrespect, but you got to think about it on the other side too. Like, you're coming there knowing he's going to do that. Why would you bring the kids?
Exactly.
Right.
So you know, there's two sides to it.
Because he probably felt safer with the kids, like he wouldn't do anything physically, you know, because the kids are with her. It could have been.
It's usually that fight where.
Well, she was coming to pick the kids up, and she was leaving, but she tried to leave. Yeah, she tried to leave with his Bentley,
right, the white
which she said was gifted to her.
Right.
And so he called the cops on her, trying to get the keys back.
Right.
And that was the big issue. And then he started going off on her. But this is a long line of things that Antonio has done recently.
God, why you keep looking at me like
I just
that?
think you got to remember, you're talking about a guy who's on top of the world. On top of the world, it got snatched from him. Now you're having fights. I mean, you're just going downward.
But you know what? Here's the thing. I want to know where are his real friends? Where is real family?
Hey, man.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
He scared him off.
No. You can't. When someone's going down, you can't tell them nothing. What are you gonna tell them?
But when you got a lot of money, you have a lot of yes men around you. They just let you do what you want.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, of course.
He just lost his money. He just lost $30 million.
No, but
he still got some. But
I mean, it's hard to tell someone how to cope with something. Like, how do you tell a guy who's 1 or 2 in receiving, he don't have a job, and I'm his friend? Like, I don't even want to talk about football. I don't even know if he wants to watch football. So you're walking on, eggshells. So there's really nothing you can say. Just hopefully he just snaps and gets back normal. But right now you just gotta I don't want to be on the other side of of that.
What I'm most heard about personally about the whole thing is not the kids, not the baby mama. He messed up my fantasy football team a couple times. I mean, I won a lot of games when he was playing, man. When he averaged 1,500 yards a season, almost 8-9 touchdowns a season, and over 100 yards catch. Come on, man.
He look like he can be his brother, huh? Look at
God, Antonio.
Yeah, y'all look like y'all can be brothers.
Hey,
Same
man.
complexion, same.
Yeah, you know,
It's the same
not the same skill.
Not the same skill.
Not the same
He's not
skill.
as funny as you are.
Yeah, but he was one of the baddest receivers in the game.
Antonio
Man.
Brown was the best receiver
Yes,
in the game.
in the game. On his way to Hall of
That's
Fame.
one of the reasons why he's still getting trials. The New Orleans Saints brought him in for a workout.
Right.
Even though he's going through what he was going through. Now, once again, the behavior was when he was in the Steelers locker room. The Facebook Live during the Mike Tomlin speech had to get on him or whatever. Got kicked out of Pittsburgh, went to Oakland, refused to show up in Oakland because of the helmet issues or whatever. Then he burned his feet because he was in a crowd machine. And then all of a sudden he tapes his coach. He tapes his coach. So he's doing a lot of this stuff to himself. And then when he got released, he released another video cheering that he got released.
CTE.
See, and you know, that's one of the reasons I look at when you say he's an idiot. I think it's something a little bit more.
I don't think he's an idiot.
I think it's a little bit, you know, it's something that's going on mentally with him.
There's a chemical imbalance for sure.
It's that or it's marketing. Like,
it ain't good marketing, Gilbert.
No, think about it. Like,
sometimes you can overthink your marketing.
No, think about it. If you just got traded to Oakland and you don't want to be there and you already made a deal with the Patriots, all they're saying is just get out of that situation.
Now I believe that.
So now, if I'm trying to get out of the situation, I'm just going to do whatever I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just trying. Once I get released, I already signed the contract 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
So that was planned.
I do believe that.
What Oakland did is say, oh, that's what y'all want to do? I'm going to re-bring up these girls.
Have you ever been with the New Orleans Saints? Like, you know, like he said they called him in, it was a publicity stunt. Like, ain't nobody calling you in for no publicity stunt.
Right.
Like, to me, that don't make sense.
That's Kaepernick.
Right.
Yeah. You know, that's what I said. It's just one of those things where they just don't, when you're doing everything wrong, it just keeps going.
Have you ever been on a team that you went to that you didn't want to be there and you thought about doing something to get out?
No, you know, NBA, we got all the power. we ain't like football, you know. you got the power in the NBA.
All right, final word on him. You think he'll ever get another shot in the NFL?
I think he should.
Yeah, he will.
He should. Why should he?
Because he's just too talented, and I hopefully he will mature. He'll get the right people around him. He'll mature because he behaved for so long. I mean, Mike Tomlin knew how to handle him. So I think with the right system, the right people around him, I think he deserves another shot. You got people who murdered people and got back in the league.
Yeah, that's true.
You got people who hit women in the face and got back in the league.
He's been accused of it, but I'm just saying.
It was on video.
Yeah.
So I think he deserves another shot.
So since you said speaking of that, Gilbert, let me ask you a question with the Ray Rice situation when he whooped on his baby's mother, all in on camera, and you still got these NFL players doing the same old thing over and over again. What you think about that?
To be honest, I don't understand when it comes to wife beating. Like, how do you get that angry? Where you got to use physical harm? Like, I mean, I understand the sport, and that's what they've been trained to do since they were little. Hit when you're angry, hit when you're happy. You know, you're just aggressive. So, you know, me coming from Cali, that everything's like, you know, your girl cheat on you. You know what I mean? So you don't have that aggression where someone can make me that angry to get to that point.
I don't condone hitting women at all, unless it's doggy style. But I don't condone hitting women at all. But Ray Rice should have got another shot, because if he hit them hoes like he hit them hoes, he could have.
You crazy.
He could have ended up at the Super Bowl.
And what's crazy about the whole situation is if Ray Rice, his situation had not been caught on tape, he probably would have got another shot.
Well, Kareem Hunt was caught on tape.
You hear him so many times about athletes and domestic violence, and they get another shot because you don't see it. The whole thing, how many entertainers have beaten their girlfriends? But you think about Chris Brown because of the pictures. You saw Rihanna, so he'll always be labeled that way. So it's different when you actually see the pictures or the video. It makes a difference. And having said that, knowing that you're an entertainer, knowing that you're an athlete, aren't you a little bit more aware when you know that somebody's watching you? Don't you think before you actually react?
It depends, because I got into a situation in Houston where I knocked this white dude out for calling me a nigga.
For what? Oh, okay.
And I just reacted. It was after one of my shows, I was saying goodbye to everybody, thanks for coming, and he stepped up on me and said, don't say anything racist to my girlfriend again, you fucking nigger. And I just
fired on him?
Bam, fired him. I got a 2-for-1 because I knocked him into her. She fell out of step. And I hit her, but he hit her, so I got a 2-for-1.
Oh, okay. what's the irony of him saying, don't say anything racist about your girl, and then it says the most racist thing you can say to a black person.
And then he got two-pieced because he called another guy in the lobby one and got two-pieced again.
Wow.
And was on the ground saying, why is this always happening to me?
He just wanted it that night. But see, here's the difference. Now, what if it would have been caught on tape and somebody would have seen it? How different
I'm sure
would
there
that
was some
have been?
cameras around there. The comedy clubs had cameras.
Right. But so that's what I'm saying. Surveillance tapes could have gotten out of
But
whatever.
I had witnesses that saw everything that happened. And not only did I have witnesses, I had white witnesses who was on my side.
Right. Yep.
It's like you're trying to tell somebody not to be human.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how much
That's
you
true.
make,
That's true.
I'm still a human being. So I'm going to react. In times, I'm just praying that it don't get caught on camera.
Right.
But other than that, I'm going to react.
And we ain't from gated communities.
Yeah, you know, even gated communities, no matter, like most of anybody, if someone pushes your button at the wrong time, you're going to explode. Now, if someone has it right here, you lose your job over 10 seconds.
You can lose your job, and a lot of times we're judged differently. Like if a white person does something, we're going to be judged entirely different than, we're automatically going to be assumed guilty of doing something. We have to explain our situations, whereas sometimes a white person
That's why I had them white witnesses.
Okay.
Y'all saw that.
Do you see that in sports in itself? That like sometimes we hear athletes always talking about how the white athletes are judged a little bit less harshly than the black athletes.
Again, it's only one sport. You know,
in the NFL. So you're saying the NFL is racist?
I say NFL controls their narrative versus the NBA.
Players control that narrative?
Players control their narrative. Like you're talking about a day where social media, everyone has a camera phone, right? Do you know Kawhi Leonard's wife's name? Do you know how many kids he has? Do you know if KD has a girlfriend? Do you know anything about all these players? No, because they sit at home all day.
Do we know if KD has a barber? That's what I'm saying.
But in this era of filming, have you noticed you don't see basketball players out anymore?
You're right.
You don't see nothing. You don't see them caught on nothing. You don't see nothing.
Don't see it,
how can just this one group control? Because at the end of the day, if you want to be incognito, you know how to be.
Is that because you control it? Like when you go out, because you still go out. You go to the club. Now, I've been around LeBron, and LeBron, some people were bringing their phones out. He'll have his people. Go get that phone. Go get that phone. You can't even bring your phone out around LeBron. Do you think they control it a little bit better?
It depends. It depends. Like if I know if I'm going to the mall, there's nothing that's going to happen at the mall. You know what I mean? For the most part, if I'm going to the mall, like what's the worst thing going to do? Hey, can you take a picture with me?
I know they still
Nobody's going to try to fight you at the mall. So it's like, and then I learned that bodyguards make more of a problem than anything else, because if someone's just trying to say hello because this is the first time they're seeing you, might not see you again, your bodyguard's pushing them out of the way, now you just aggravated that dude.
Yeah.
It's only going to take me 10 seconds to take the picture and just keep it moving.
Right.
So it's like, it depends on who you are and what you're doing at that moment.
Right.
But for the most part, basketball players know how to stay out of the spotlight.
So what do you feel about that beef that Kendrick Perkins and Kevin Durant just got into? What do you feel about that beef?
You got
You think he was right?
Yeah.
Didn't you get into it?
What he was saying.
Kendrick or KD?
What Kendrick was saying was like, okay, wait, if you take them as OKC players who had a better OKC career, I agree with him. It's close, but you got to remember, KD left at 27.
All right, we got to
so Russell played longer and collected more stats. So as a OKC player, you got to put Russell probably one.
Set up for him, Mike.
So the setup was like, who had a better career? OKC, was it Russell Westbrook or Kevin Durant? And they said it was Russell Westbrook. KD chimed in on it or whatever. Then Kendrick Perkins chimed in saying something about Kevin Durant was a coward because he left OKC when they were up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors that year in the Western Conference Championship. And the next year, of course, y'all know he went to the Warriors where he won a couple of championships or whatever. So Kendrick chimed in on about to call him a coward, and then KD chimed back in on Kendrick, basically saying we would have won a championship if you would have been a better player in Oklahoma City.
Right.
And then Gilbert chimed in on that, and everything else kind of
Kendrick said that it was the weakest move in the NBA.
Yeah, he says
going from going to which I don't agree with. I mean, hey, you're trying to win a championship.
Yeah.
Period. And and so they got in their feelings, and KD is known to get in his feelings a little bit about certain things. Most Redskin fans do. But it just got. I think it got blown out of proportion. So I mean, KD. I mean, he ain't no punk. So he fired back like, well, you know, you played hard, big fella. He basically like patted him on the head.
Basically, you only average 3 points a game and 2 rebounds, but you tried hard.
And you know that's offensive.
Pretty much.
Was it a weak move? No.
Why not?
The reason is it a weak move for Golden State to lose to LeBron, then go get KD? You got to remember, KD got to get called. So you're catching KD when he's sitting there saying, all right, I got my bucket list. The only thing I need left on this at 27 is a championship, finals MVP. Everything else I've done.
Yeah, he's already a great player.
I'm at 27. I don't want to keep just averaging pointless. Like, look at you. I don't want to be Charles Barkley. Y'all sit there and make fun of my career because I never won a championship. So when he's at his free agency, he's like, all right, the only 2 teams I can really go to that can guarantee me this is Cleveland. They don't want me. Golden State makes the call. Because you got to see this. As a little kid, we look at Jordan, right?
Right.
This man turns down damn near $235 million that he would have signed back at OKC for a 2-year, 54.
Wow.
To get that chip, he wanted to get that chip.
Let me break it down.
$100-something million to $100-something million.